I spent most of my life studying and performing music. But it took me decades to realize that I was only hearing half of it. This is me growing up in the south of Brazil, probably starting to dream of becoming a classical singer. A dream a bit far away from my reality at the time, but I have a very inspirational mom. And she used to tell me, of course you must follow your dreams, Think of all the musicians who achieved great things in spite of all difficulties. Think of Beethoven. He was deaf, right? Look how far he got. And I tell you, I held into that dead, white, European, male role model like there was nobody else. And that dream brought me all the way to London to study at the Royal College of Music, and it continues to take me around the world to share music with audiences. But about 8 years ago, I was walking in a second-hand book market, the one in South Bank under the bridge, and I found an encyclopedia that listed 6,000 women composers in the history of music. I was shocked. Did I miss a lesson or something? Because that was all I could think. But very soon after that, I got quite angry. Because how come I spent so many years studying and performing music and I never heard the name of these women? Not from my teachers, not from my mom. That really changed something in me. I love music, as you can see, but I also like numbers. So I decided to look into statistics. And then I found out that over 90% of the music we hear in concert halls today is written by men. And I know you must be thinking, it's just classical music. But when you look at other music genres, you can see that nearly 90% of the music we hear is also written by men. But this is not just about women. It's about a soundtrack that we all share, which is the soundtrack of our cultures, and how desperately incomplete, that is. I do believe that when somebody writes a piece of music, a little bit of their soul gets into it, and their voices will carry on. Music is such an inclusive art form. It brings people together. It can touch you. It doesn't matter which language, which genre. But yet what we hear doesn't reflect the whole of who we are. For the past 8 years, as well as being a singer, I've been working to amplify the stories and the music by women. And one argument I hear quite a lot, actually, is like, but if the music of these women was any good, you would have survived and be recorded. But we know that history doesn't preserve what is good. It preserves what is permitted, what is repeated and recorded, so we can get back to it over and over again. And for centuries, women's voices and women's music have been dismissed, unpublished, removed from textbooks and from catalogs. And now, AI is learning from that same silence. AI tools are already generating new music based on our current musical catalog. But these systems don't choose music by quality. They learn from the available data. And our musical data is biased, is missing half of humanity's creativity. If everybody's racing to protect our copyrights, please continue. But if we do not fix this catalog now, the music of the future will repeat yesterday's mistakes exponentially. Some good news. There is still time and ways to recover some of this silence. I will use my own example. When I found out that I, pretty much missed, half of music history, I decided to start the Donne Foundation. And together with researchers, now we are uncovering over 17,000 women in history of music. We need more books. From 139 countries. A lot of this music still survives in archives, in manuscripts, in libraries. And those are all voices who can teach both people and machines. And who knows who they will inspire in the future. I continue to discover So much beautiful music, incredible stories, and some amazing women. One of them really, really touched me. Ilse Weber was a poet, a singer, a mother, who was imprisoned in the ghetto of Theresienstadt during the Second World War. As she was there, she wrote songs to entertain the elderly and the children. She sadly died in Auschwitz, but a few of her songs survived. This one is a lullaby, and it's called Vigala. Vigala, Vigala, Weiher, der Wind spielt auf der Leier, spielt so süß im grünen Ried, die Artificial intelligence is learning. Let's teach it to remember the sounds of all of us. Thank you.